Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're a parent or caregiver diving into early education here in Connecticut, you already know the deal. Stepping into this system, it can totally feel like wandering through a stressful, bureaucratic maze. The stakes feel incredibly high, the terminology is super confusing, and at the end of the day, you just want to do what's best for your kid. But hey, don't worry, that is exactly why we're here today. We're going to break down the sources, lay out the facts crystal clear, and get you navigating the system with total confidence. Okay, let's dive into this, because the very first question practically every single parent asks is just, is my child old enough for pre-K? Sounds like a super simple yes or no question, right? You check their birthday, you check a chart, and boom, you've got your answer. Well, actually, scratch that. The reality is a bit more complex. The real question you need to ask first is, which pre-K program are we even talking about? That changes literally everything. You see, pre-K in Connecticut isn't just a single one-size-fits-all doorway that every kid walks through at the exact same time. It's way more helpful to think of it like a massive hallway with several different doors. And which door you open? Well, that depends entirely on your child's specific age, the program type you're looking for, and your family's unique circumstances and needs. So, here is our roadmap for today. First, 1. Decoding CT pre-K. 2. Age rules and timelines. 3. The special education pathway. 4. School readiness programs. And finally, 5. Next steps for families. I promise, by the time we wrap this up, we'll have completely de-jargonized this whole process and you'll know exactly which door to open. All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, Decoding Connecticut Pre-K. It's a hallway, not a door. We really need to bust this foundational misconception right out of the gate. Pre-K is not just one single standardized grade level across the state. In reality, Connecticut Pre-K is a mix of school readiness programs, public school special education, Head Start, and private community options. It's definitely not a straight uniform line. Your eligibility for any of these specific programs depends heavily on your family's circumstances, exactly how old your child is, and whether they have any specific developmental needs. Moving on to Section 2, Age Rules and Timelines, the starting point. So while there isn't just one program, age is usually your ultimate baseline for figuring out where your journey even begins. The crucial thing to understand is the state's strict guideline. In Connecticut, preschool age is generally defined as age 3 or older, and not yet attending kindergarten. Because of this, you're going to find that a lot of the public preschool options are built specifically around 3 and 4-year-olds. Now, depending on the kid's birthday and local placement rules, some programs might also serve 5-year-olds who aren't quite in kindergarten yet. But age 3, that is absolutely your primary starting block for these systems. And this builds into 2 totally distinct paths when we look at age groups and needs. We've got the Birth to 3 system, which is uniquely designed for infants and toddlers living in Connecticut who have a developmental delay or a medical condition likely to cause one, versus general preschool age programs for kids 3 to 5. Now, I want to be super clear here. Birth to 3 isn't technically pre-K, but it acts as a really crucial transition path for infants and toddlers to eventually enter preschool services when they age up. Which brings us to Section 3, the Special Education Pathway, Needs-Based Access. This is absolutely one of the most important state-supported avenues we need to talk about today. Under federal IDA rules, that's the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, eligible kids ages 3, 4, and 5 with disabilities can receive services directly through their local or regional school district. But here's what I really want you to take away from this. This specific pathway is not based on your family's income at all. Eligibility is based entirely on whether the child has a disability and whether the district's planning and placement team determines that special education is actually needed. The state materials outline this really profound concept. Special education is a service, not a place. Isn't that reassuring? It literally means your child might qualify for preschool special education even if they don't attend a traditional preschool building. The district might provide these services in a standard classroom, sure, but they could also provide them out in a community setting or wherever is most appropriate for what your child actually needs to thrive. All right, Section 4, School Readiness Programs Explained, Access and Income-Based. Now, what's really interesting about this is, if special education was our needs-based doorway, school readiness is a doorway focused heavily on expanding general access. Connecticut supports school readiness programs specifically to provide access to quality preschool for 3 and 4-year-olds, especially in high-need communities. They're designed to help kids prep for school, totally distinct from special education. But here's the catch you absolutely need to be aware of. These slots are limited, and they are administered locally. And because these programs are locally administered, the rules can honestly change wildly depending on what town you live in. You've got to consider local eligibility factors. We're talking income guidelines, residency requirements, and priority or wait lists. One town might strictly prioritize low-income families, while the next town over uses a lottery system. Some have super strict residency rules, and almost all of them are going to have waitlists. This is exactly why you simply cannot assume the rules your friend followed in another district will automatically apply to you. Finally, Section 5, Next Steps for Families, Taking Action. Okay, time to shift from bureaucratic theory to practical reality. You might want to take a quick screenshot of this checklist right now. When you go to apply, you're usually going to need to show proof of Connecticut residency, a birth certificate to officially prove age, income documentation if you're applying for those income-based programs, any previous special education evaluations, and of course, your child's health and immunization records. Gathering this paperwork early is absolutely crucial for any early childhood application. Please do not wait until the week before school starts. To empower you even further, let's break this potentially overwhelming process down into 3 super simple, actionable steps. Step 1, identify the specific program based on your child's age and needs. Step 2, gather all those documents we literally just listed. And step 3, pick up the phone and call your local school district, contact 211 Child Development, or reach out to Help Me Grow. I'm going to repeat this because it's just that important. Details vary by local district. Always, always contact your local provider directly to confirm their current requirements. That local phone call is your ultimate action item. It's for sure the best way to avoid confusion and make absolutely sure your child gets placed in the exact right early learning setting for them. So that brings us to our final question today. Are you ready to open the right door for your child's early education journey today? You now have the map to navigate this Connecticut pre-K hallway. You know the strict age rules, you understand the vital difference between special education services and school readiness access, and you know exactly what paperwork to gather. You're equipped, you're confident, and you are ready to make that first phone call. But, as early education policies keep evolving statewide, it really begs a larger question. Will we soon see a future where finding the right pre-K doorway isn't a stressful maze, but a guaranteed right for every single child? Until then, you've got the map. Thanks for exploring this with me today.